Sales development reps, AI for outreach. AI is now part of Outbound, so we have to run it on purpose. AI has moved from nice to have to default behavior in SDR outreach, and prospects can tell when teams are using it well versus using it to spray generic messages. The model isn't the differentiator anymore. Your strategy, guardrails, and workflow are. If we don't design those intentionally, AI turns into a fast way to burn trust, trash deliverability, and confuse the team. For sales leaders, the real question isn't whether to use AI, but how to use it without dehumanizing outreach. The goal is still the same: book qualified meetings and create pipeline. What changes is how we get there, by letting AI handle the grunt work while SDRs focus on judgment, relevance, and conversations. This matters whether you run an in-house team or rely on sales outsourcing through a B2B sales agency, an outbound sales agency, or an SDR agency. Buyers are already filtering harder, inboxes are less forgiving, and activity volume is no longer a strategy. The teams winning are the ones building a repeatable, measurable, AI-assisted outreach engine that stays human at the point of contact. Why AI is a big deal right now? Time, saturation, and shifting buyer behavior. Most SDR orgs don't have a motivation problem, they have a capacity problem. Sales reps spend only about 28 to 30% of their week on true selling activities, with the rest disappearing into research, admin, and CRM upkeep. That gap is exactly where AI creates leverage, not by spamming more, but by buying back hours that turn into higher quality touches and more live conversations. At the same time, AI adoption is already widespread inside sales orgs, whether leadership planned it or not. In one recent survey, 95% of sales executives said their organization uses AI in sales. And another analysis found 56% of sales professionals use AI daily. If you don't define how SDRs should use AI, they'll still use it, just inconsistently, with uneven quality and unnecessary risk. The market reality is that cold email performance is tight, and more volume can backfire quickly. Benchmarks put average B2B cold email reply rates around 5.1%, while other 2025 analyses cite averages closer to 8.5%, with many campaigns stuck in the 1 to 5% band. That spread is the point. Targeting and relevance dominate, and AI should help you earn the right to send, not make it easier to send the wrong thing faster. Start with leverage. Use AI to buy back SDR time before chasing fancy personalization. The highest ROI AI use cases are usually the least glamorous ones: list cleanup, CRM hygiene, basic research, and call notes. If AI isn't freeing a few hours per rep per week, it's probably adding complexity instead of removing it. We like to treat early AI projects like process improvements. Pick a bottleneck, set a before-after baseline, and measure whether you actually reclaim time. A practical way to do this is to run a 5-day time audit and categorize work into selling versus non-selling tasks. Once you see where the hours go, you can define 3 to 5 use cases with clear inputs and owners, like enrichment for your cold email agency-style lists, automatic call summaries for your cold calling services motion, or drafting follow-ups based on meeting outcomes. The goal is to reduce the tab hopping that keeps reps busy but not productive. This approach also prevents the most common failure mode: using AI to send more of the same low-quality outreach. If targeting is loose, data is messy, or your deliverability is fragile, AI just scales the problem and makes it harder to unwind. Fix the inputs first, then let AI amplify what's already working. Build the operating model. AI as a junior SDR, humans as editors, and RevOps as governance. The cleanest mental model is to treat AI like a junior SDR. It drafts, suggests, and analyzes, but it doesn't get to decide or ship messages unsupervised. Your SDR should be trained to review output, verify any facts about the account, and adjust tone so it reads like a real person. That human-in-the-loop step is what keeps you from hallucinations, cliché-heavy copy, and brand-damaging mistakes. Human-in-the-loop is the whole game. Personalization also needs rules, not vibes. AI works best when it's anchored to real signals, hiring spikes, funding events, tech changes, leadership moves, or job postings, rather than generic compliments about a blog post from years ago. A simple standard we like is every personalized email must reference one verifiable insight and connect it to a plausible initiative or pain in plain language. Finally, governance should be centralized, not improvised. Revenue operations or sales ops should own approved prompts, QA checks, data handling, and tool access so every SDR isn't winging it with random extensions and inconsistent templates. This is especially important if you outsource sales or run an outsourced sales team across multiple regions, where process drift can show up as deliverability issues and messy CRM data. Use AI to do the busy work at machine speed, then make humans responsible for judgment, relevance, and sending. How AI fits into the SDR workflow: research, writing, sequencing, and call prep. In research and list building, AI can enrich and segment faster than a rep jumping between tabs. That includes firmographics, technographics, hiring patterns, and account notes that help you prioritize who to contact and why. If you run B2B list building services internally or through a sales development agency, AI can also flag inconsistencies and missing fields before bad data becomes bad targeting. In messaging, AI should produce a structured first draft, not a final answer. Give it persona, positioning, proof points, and a real trigger. Then have the SDR tighten it into a short, direct note that sounds like your team. This is where many teams get burned. Unreviewed AI copy tends to look fine while still reading generic, which is deadly when average reply rates hover around 5.1% in many 2025 benchmarks. In sequencing and follow-up, AI becomes a consistency engine. It can generate follow-up variants that actually add value, adjust timing based on engagement, and route hot accounts into a call task at the right moment. When you pair that with a disciplined multi-channel motion, email plus B2B cold calling services, or a dedicated cold calling team, you get fewer wasted touches and more conversations that feel timely. Best practices that keep outreach human and keep deliverability intact. Follow-up discipline is one of the most reliable levers in Outbound, and it's an area where AI helps without making messages feel robotic. Some datasets suggest follow-up emails can lift replies by up to 65%, especially when spacing and content are handled thoughtfully. The key is that each touch should advance the conversation, new insight, a tighter question, or a relevant proof point, rather than repeating the same pitch with different wording. Deliverability has to be treated as a first-class constraint because AI makes it trivial to scale sending. Strong fundamentals, authentication, warm-up, and conservative per-sender limits matter more than ever when inbox filters are stricter. If you're running campaigns through a cold email agency model or as part of sales outsourcing, you want the same discipline. Smaller, higher-fit batches that protect domain reputation over time. At SalesHive, we've seen the best results when teams combine AI speed with human judgment and tight ICP filters. We use AI-assisted workflows, including our eMod personalization engine, to accelerate research and first drafts, then require human review to keep language direct and credible. That approach is how we keep personalization grounded in real signals, instead of turning outreach into AI noise that prospects ignore. Grounded in real signals. Common mistakes that kill results and how to fix them. The most expensive mistake is using AI to send more of the same low-quality outreach. If your ICP is broad, your list is dirty, or your message is vague, higher volume just accelerates negative outcomes. Lower replies, more spam flags, and worse domain health. The fix is to apply AI first to list quality, enrichment, and prioritization, then scale cautiously only if quality metrics hold. The next mistake is letting AI write emails with no human review. Generic phrasing, recycled cliches, and occasional false details erode trust quickly, especially with senior buyers who see dozens of similar notes weekly. A simple guardrail works. SDRs must verify the one insight in the opener and rewrite at least one sentence so it matches how they'd actually speak on a call. The third mistake is chasing tools instead of defining use cases and ownership. When every rep has a different prompt style and a different stack, adoption drops and reporting becomes meaningless. Whether you hire SDRs internally or use an outsourced sales team, you'll get better outcomes with a small number of approved workflows, a shared prompt library, and a QA loop that catches issues before they hit the market. Measure what matters: AI-ready KPIs, benchmarks, and optimization loops. If your SDR scorecard is still dominated by dials and raw email volume, AI will help people hit bigger numbers that don't translate into pipeline. Instead, we recommend shifting toward quality metrics: reply rate by segment, positive reply rate, meetings held, and pipeline created per 100 accounts touched. That's how you ensure AI is improving outcomes rather than just accelerating activity. Benchmarks provide guardrails, not guarantees, but they help you spot when something breaks. If your replies are consistently below the 5.1% range and trending down, it's often a targeting or deliverability issue. If you're closer to 8.5% but meetings don't follow, it's usually message to offer alignment or qualification. AI analytics can shorten the feedback loop by showing which personas, industries, and triggers actually produce positive responses. To operationalize this, track AI-assisted versus non-assisted sequences separately and hold them to the same bar: better quality and less rep time per meeting. For teams that want speed without building everything in-house, this is where a specialist partner can help. Many companies treat a B2B sales agency or cold calling agency as both a pipeline engine and a lab for what good looks like, then port the best practices back into their internal playbooks. What's next? Build, partner, and prepare for an AI-first seller workflow. The upside for getting this right is massive, and it's not speculative. McKinsey estimates generative AI could unlock an additional $8 to $1.2 trillion in productivity in sales and marketing. For SDR teams, that translates into more selling time, faster iteration on messaging, and better prioritization, if you implement AI as a system rather than a shortcut. The direction of travel is also clear. Gartner predicts that by 2028, 60% of B2B seller work will be executed through generative AI-driven interfaces, and that around 30% of outbound messages from large enterprises will be synthetically generated. That doesn't mean SDRs disappear. It means the job shifts toward orchestration, deeper qualification, and higher quality conversations while machines handle the repetitive tasks in the background. The job shifts. If you're deciding whether to build in-house or partner, use a simple lens. Do you have RevOps bandwidth, clean data, and time to experiment without losing pipeline? If yes, build a focused set of workflows and measure ruthlessly. If not, partnering with an AI-enabled sales development agency can be the fastest way to stand up a reliable motion while protecting your domains and your brand. Either way, treat AI as a capability you operationalize, because Outbound in 2026 won't reward teams that try tools. It will reward teams that run disciplined systems.